AITA for repurposing the wedding fund and refusing to compromise by you deleted. Now, you always know it's juicy if the OP had to go and delete it.
Dirty delete.
I have 2 kids, different dads. I have a savings account for both. The account of my oldest, Lucy, has had £10, that's British money, per week added to it by both myself and her father, and has gone up by about $1,000 a year and is over £13,000. The second account is from my son Luke, who is 6. I've regularly added to this account since I found out I was pregnant and have about $3.5K in the account. His father, my fiance, had a separate account for Luke and has told me he was doing £10 a week, £10 a week since we started the accounts. I recently found out the account he has for Luke only has a couple hundred in it. My fiance earns less than me, but more than my ex. If my ex can afford £10 a week routinely when he has nearly identical spending habits to me and my fiance, but lives alone and therefore pays for rent/bills in full, and my fiance earns more than my ex, there is no reason my fiance should not have been able to make the £10 payments each week. I earn the most of all 3 of us, followed by my fiance, followed by my ex. Okay, I'm already a little confused at how that's specified so much.
I know.
My fiance said he forgot and asked me to redistribute the contents of Lucy's fund to make up from the money missing from Luke's. I said, fuck no. Luke's account is around $3K less than it should be. We have a wedding fund that contains a little over $2K of mine and my fiance's combined money. We don't want a huge wedding, but we do want a really nice honeymoon where we can just go away for a week and not worry about money while we're there or returning. My fiance says that he doesn't have the money to replace the $3K Luke is missing all at once. I have said that I want to take the wedding fund as it currently stands and deposit the lot into the savings account I control that is meant for Luke. I wouldn't be doing this if my fiance had not, 1, lied for around 7 years about saving for our son, 2, claimed he did not have the money to replace it, 3, suggested I take money from my daughter, saved up with the help from my ex, to fix my fiance's mistake. I also said that I want him to set up a direct deposit of £10 to the account that only I control each week. I will not budge on any of this, as we agreed years ago now that this was a good idea and that it was important to invest in our son's future. And he has lied to me for 7 years now about making that investment. AITA.
Okay, I think, and maybe I'm just like a simpleton, but I think there's like one glaring solution to this problem, and it's just like, okay, so you ask the fiance now, like, just pony up the rest, or like get to the bottom of where were you spending all this money, and why don't you just have 10 extra pounds? It's $10, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm a little bit sort of like, yeah, we'll repurpose the wedding fund, but like this is a
I don't think so. That seems so drastic because you're saving for your, like, why do you have to repurpose your personal wedding fund just for your 6-year-old son's savings account? Like, it doesn't seem like a dire situation to redistribute that money.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit shocked, though. This is shocking behavior. I mean, you make an agreement like this, which I'm kind of against. I don't really like this way of saving money, but
why? Whatever, no.
I just think it's weird. I think it's weird to be like, put away £10 a month. Like, why?
I mean, it's like small and nice and manageable, and it like you don't miss it. So I think it's like kind of smart.
Yeah, but why don't you just, but then you're also throwing in a savings account, which is like the worst way to generate any kind of wealth. It's just like garbage. Just your money's just losing you money. But,
well,
you know, finance. But
I know you have to teach me how to invest or whatever.
Yeah. Well, so my main point here, though, is like it is a little alarming that he would lie about this. And I mean, I'm agreeing with what you're saying because £10 is a very small amount of money per week, but it adds up over time to thousands of dollars.
You have some of the, it's £10 a week. I thought it was a month. Oh, it's a week. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, you have some of the money to put some in as a gesture of goodwill, like you have to.
Yeah, but aren't you mad at that? Why aren't you mad at the man? what happened, Sarah?
I know,
You're
right?
cool with men? I mean, I'm mad at all these men.
No, I'm not cool with men.
This woman out-earns all these men.
She's killing it.
She's killing it. And the ex is fine, whatever. They broke up, but he's throwing it in. And then this guy said he would do it. He, quote, forgot. Why would he forget?
So I guess my question is, the way that this fiance, like, okay, the impression that I get reading it is like, we don't know how seriously this was discussed, how
That's
often.
True.
If you forgot about this and you never checked up in 6 years, you know, it's like if this is something you're doing every week and this was meant to be like a very serious agreement that you guys were both going to do, then like, why is this the first you're discovering that there's no money in there?
Yeah.
practically no money.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of couples do end up saying one person controls the money. I mean, I see it a lot, and my parents run like that. My
Yeah, whatever. It's cool with me.
mom controls the money.
Respect.
Well, because I almost feel like this is what this is about. You know what I mean? It's almost
You
like.
think she just wants to control the money?
Well, I know. No. I'm saying no. I agree with you that it kind of hinges on like what was the seriousness of this decision. Like maybe he
Yeah.
did forget because maybe she's just like, oh, hello there, fiance. Why don't you put $10 a week away? And he's like, oh yeah, sure, babe.
Right. I know. Was it
You
a
know.
flippant thing? Like, hey, this would be a good thing. And he's like, yeah, it would be a good idea. And then you both forget like every work suggestion that comes up in the office until someone follows up again.
Right. Like if they had together put on like an auto save feature or something, then fine. But
yeah, I do feel like the red flag is that he is not. Is he reluctant to set up this direct deposit? No, it doesn't really say. I don't know. I guess if she feels so strongly that he lied to her for 7 years, I really need to know like what were like some more steps along the way here.
I don't really says. Yeah, I mean, she does say I would not be doing this if my fiance had not lied for around 7 years. So that is a big deal.
Yeah, she sees it as a big deal. So I kind of want more info.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of ready to say I'm ready to give her the benefit of the doubt and be like, all right, well, she characterized it as lying for 7 years.
All right, yeah.
So then that must be it. But then I'm also kind of weirded out at how casual she is because she doesn't really expand on that. Because I'm like, reinvest the fund. Like if someone lies to me for 7 years, I'm gonna be like, hey, like our trust structure is fucked up.
Yeah, I'm not just gonna take away from my own wedding to like cover your ass.
Yeah, how about we don't have a wedding?
Yeah. Also, guys, $2,000 for a wedding is not gonna get you that far, as we'll see in this future problem.
Oh boy. Sarah W writes, NTA, and if he's lied about this, what else has he lied about? Run now, take all your money / accounts with you and don't look back.
I don't know. That seems a little premature. Who am I? Oh my God. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess because I need to know like more of his response. He does say he doesn't have the money, which is like, okay, yeah, I might not have $3,500 up front.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do. And I'm 27. He should have it. Just kidding. Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not ready to like say that he's necessarily the asshole.
Right.
Maybe he's, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to know, and when we get into finance situations, it is always sort of like, well, how much money do you make does become a factor. Because, like, yeah, you and I are like, well, 10 pounds a week. Well, that's not that much. That's, $40 a month or $50 a month.
That's lunch is $10 a day. What am I doing?
That's certainly noticeable to me if someone's yanking $50 from my account, but it's not that much money that I understand the saving strategy. But to someone who makes, minimum wage or, $40,000 a year, that's like the difference between, like you said, like a lunch. That's like maybe they go out to lunch with their coworkers once a week or something like that.
Yeah. I think the worst thing is that he is basically saying, oh, just pull from the one girl to cover the other kid, which is not okay to me.
No, that's not okay.
Yeah, it's like not a good solution. So that's a little bit like alarming.
I think there's a bigger discussion here is really what I do see in this. Cause it's like, look, this woman has all these accounts and when you do little accounts like this, I'm just, and I don't mean to be judgmental, but like clearly they're not wealthy. Like clearly there is, and this is a great attitude toward money. Like, hey, we're going to save this and we're going to kind of portion out all this little piles of cash, which is great. And I think this woman probably makes decent money, but she's a great saver. That's what I'm looking at here. Yeah. And he's disrespecting that. And that is a serious conversation.
I think the question is like, okay, where is this money going then?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I honestly think that's his sin. And then she's like punishing both of them by getting rid of this wedding fund. I think she just needs to have a serious conversation with him and be like, yo, dude, like, what's the deal? Yeah,
she's being reactive right now, which I totally get. When someone kind of fucks up and you want to just like respond by unilaterally taking all the control back.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's like, bro, you guys are getting married. Like, you got to have a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause like, maybe that's it. Maybe it's like, look, you don't get to get, a lunch meal with your coworkers every week or whatever. Yeah. Figure out a way, like do Uber on the weekends or something like that. Crazy, the Uber drivers, by the way, in other cities. I feel like everyone in New York, they're an Uber driver. That's their job.
Yeah.
In LA, I'm like, hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm an accountant. Really?
What?
Yeah, I'm an accountant. I don't know. I got bored and I don't want to be stuck with my wife. I'm like, okay, that's a lot to learn about you, sir.
My friend out in LA used to do Postmates.
Yeah.
I think it's just mad expensive to live out there, I guess.
I mean, compared to here, it's a goddamn dream.
Really?
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I talked to this girl. She said, this is my friend's girlfriend. She pays, I think she said $1,700 for a 1-bed.
You can find that here pretty easily.
Where?
Like, I mean, Queens, Brooklyn, Uptown.
You cannot get a 1-bedroom for $1,700, Sarah.
Oh, maybe a studio.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of one room, like a shared room in a 2-bedroom. Yeah, of course.
No, I'm not thinking of one room in a shared. You can definitely get a studio for like 16 or 17.
In like
Astoria.
Astoria.
I said Queens, Brooklyn, Uptown Manhattan, not like prime Upper
like
East
deep
Side.
Uptown. Yeah. You mean
like maybe Harlem, Upper East. My friends pay like I think $1,800, and they each. Wait, I don't remember how much their 1-bedroom is. Anyway.
Right.
But that's not like that outrageous.
Well, it's a lot cheaper than New York on air. Everything's cheaper. Don S. writes, good God, I can just picture going to dinner with a lot of you assholes in the last half of the meal being quibbling about who should pay for what until I pay the check just to shut you the fuck up.
That's funny. Yeah, the first time I read this, and I'm still having a hard time grasping the gravity of this, because these kids are like under 13 years old, right? You have so much time to make up for this loss in savings. I'm just not like, I guess I'm having trouble seeing the urgency.
I mean, there's no urgency, but it's a toxic behavior, and clearly this is how she runs her money, and I think it's a great strategy. You know, there's some limitations to it, but if money is tight like this and you don't want to throw your money into like a fucking like betterment.com or whatever, or some kind of mutual fund where you're going to gain money and you're a little accountant, and then he's refusing to put in the 10 pounds, it's like, she's angry, but I don't think she's angry at the right thing, because this kind of wedding fund thing is like a retributive, like little revenge. And it's like, no, you need to sit down with this guy and be like, hey, there's a lot of power to saving 10 pounds a week.
I mean, my thing was like, there's no reason for you to feel like you have to take a drastic action to make up this lost money right this second. I don't see the reason for doing that.
Right. I agree.
Like, why is the solution? It's like, oh, you haven't been putting in 10 pounds a week. Our kid is 6. Okay, we're going to take the wedding fund. If your kid was like about to go off to college tomorrow, then yeah, but like, this is not urgent. I don't
it should be, hey, put in 20 pounds for the next 7 years. And then after that, you can go
this
back
seems
down.
more like conversation time, less like do something drastic.
Whisper M says, YTA for doing anything regarding finances without talking to your fiance and refusing to compromise.
Okay. I mean, those are fair points.
Those are fair points. I mean, I think this is a communication thing. Top Reddit comment, totally not a koala. I guess this is probably a koala that's coming off strong. Writes, he lied to you about $10 a week for over 7 years and asked you to steal from your daughter to make up for it. You're still going to marry him? ESH. Oh, my
steal
eyes.
From your daughter.
No, that's not what he asked.
I know. It's like, I feel like it's not stealing.
No.
But that was the top comment.
Of course it's a top comment because it's catchy and it's funny and it's jokey, but it's like, no, that's not a valid response. It's not stealing. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I also don't like that sort of, I don't know, just like, she doesn't, I don't know. This is not like an actual everyone sucks here. Like choosing to stay with someone who is like maybe behaving badly doesn't like necessarily make you an asshole. It makes you like, I don't know, maybe dependent or something and have issues, but like it doesn't, you're not necessarily the asshole right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, it really kind of does depend on who this guy is, how much money he makes. I mean, this is one conversation. We don't know how serious these things were.
Well, we have an update.
Oh boy.
So now we know.
So this is a key edit. This was an edit made on the post. She writes, I asked him again why he didn't have the money. He said he just didn't. I asked him to bring up his bank statement or payslip or anything that shows how much money he has, bearing in mind he was last paid on the 20th and today is the 30th. He refused. I told him that if we were combining finances anyway, I should be able to see where his money is going. He responded I wasn't showing him my financial information. So I pulled up my banking app so he could see my own balance and transaction history. He showed me his last statement, which his bank emailed him today. We had a fight and he's staying in a hotel tonight, which turns out he can more than afford. He has nearly 60 grand in his personal current account and savings accounts. presumably meant solely for himself. I cannot see us getting married after this, not ever. It's not just a trust issue, but also that he knowingly had nearly 60 grand in savings, decided it was okay to try to guilt trip me into taking money meant for my daughter to fix it for him.
Wow, this is just about worst case possible scenario.
Yeah, I mean, well, because now it's like, well, you clearly had enough money, so you were lying, and like,
yeah, now we know for real you were lying, you were really hiding money. Also, it's like you're hiding it from your own kid. That's beyond fucked up.
And this is just so crazy that like you're gonna marry someone and not be upfront about your money sitch. I mean, it's like that is like
Isn't
what
that
a
like
marriage.
Half the point of getting married? Is
I literally
like,
think it's most of the point. And
yeah, like
people
you can't hide your money. That doesn't make that's like what?
People focus on the party part of marriage, but it's like you're forming a corporation together.
Yeah.
It is a weird corporation. It's like, what does the corporation do? Well, we earn money by having jobs at other corporations, and a chief export is babies.
Oh my God.
That's what this corporation will do. Do we have any investors? Kind of, yes. The bride's parents will pay for a massive
and
party.
you get some wedding gifts.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start an LLC instead of getting married.
Yeah. Yeah, you should. That's the loneliest, saddest thing you've said. I love that.
I would start it with another person.
There you
obviously.
go. Just a limited liability.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Instead of proposing, I'll say, hey, do you want to start an LLC?
Yeah, that's sexy. Women love that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, bottom line, I think we agree AITA for repurposing the wedding fund and refusing to compromise given all the information we got. I think that's a big resounding.
Not the asshole. Don't marry that guy.